Welcome to Spectrum News at 4, coming to you live from Oyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital. My name is Ofonono Joseph. Let's take a look at the top stories. Federal government launches tuition-free training for teachers in technical schools. Senate passes bill mandating 30% pre-export processing of local raw materials. Plus, Trump threatens extra 10% tariff on nations siding with BRICS. Stay tuned for details of these and other stories in a jiffy. Thank you so much for joining us on the news at this time. Our first report this time is that President Bola Tinubu has made a strong case for the restructuring of global governance, finance, and healthcare systems, urging the international community to adopt a more inclusive and equitable framework that takes into account the realities of low income and emerging economies, especially in Africa. Speaking at the ongoing 17th BRICS Summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, President Tinubu said that the existing global institutions and economic architecture are outdated and disproportionately disadvantage nations in the global south. This was contained in a statement by Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga. Tinubu, who was invited to the summit by Brazilian President Luiz da Silva, joined fellow leaders from the Global South and emerging economies in calling for a collective push towards more balanced and sustainable development. The Nigeria president emphasized the urgent need to address pressing global issues such as environmental degradation, the climate crisis, and growing inequalities in healthcare, all of which he said continue to impede development and prosperity across Africa. Nigeria officially became a BRICS partner country in January 2025, following the bloc's creation of the partner country category at its 16th summit in Kazan, Russia, last October. Away from that, the Federal Ministry of Education has announced the commencement of the 2025-2026 Technical Teachers Training Program, TTTP, a tuition-free one-year postgraduate diploma in education, PGDE, aimed at upgrading the skills of secondary school teachers handling technical and vocational subjects across Nigeria. The initiative, unveiled through the ministry's Department of Technology and Science Education in Abuja, is part of the government's renewed commitment to strengthening technical and vocational education and training (TVET) in the country. According to the ministry, the TTTP application portal will open on 8 July 2025 and close on 21 July 2025. Meanwhile, the federal government, through the Nigeria Data Protection Commission, has imposed a fine of 766 million naira on Multichoice Nigeria for breaching the Nigeria Data Protection Act. In a statement issued by the head of legal enforcement and regulations at NDPC, Babatunde Bamigboye, The Commission cited violations of subscribers' privacy rights and the lawful transfer of citizens' data across borders. The sanction followed an investigation launched in the second quarter of 2024 after allegations surfaced regarding the company's intrusive data processing activities. According to the NDPC, the probe uncovered multiple breaches, including the unauthorized processing of personal data belonging to both subscribers and individuals who were not Multichoice customers. From the red chambers now, where the Senate has passed a bill mandating all raw materials must undergo a minimum of 30% local processing before they are exported from Nigeria. The decision followed the adoption of the report by the Senate Committee on Science and Technology and the amendment of the Raw Materials Research and Development Council Act 2022. The bill, sponsored by Senator Onyekachi Nwebonyi, representing Ebonyi North, seeks to promote value addition, strengthen the local manufacturing sector, reduce reliance on imports, and stimulate sustainable economic growth. Reports say under the new provisions, any exporter who fails to meet the 30% processing requirement will be subjected to a 15% levy on the export value of the raw materials and may face suspension or revocation of their raw material value addition certificate. Meanwhile, the Senate has acknowledged the court judgment on suspended Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, while noting that it was yet to receive the certified true copy (CTC) of the judgment. The chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Yemi Adaramodu, who made this known in a statement in Abuja, noted that the CTC of the judgment was necessary for a thorough review and informed determination of the next course of action. He stated that pending receipt of the CTC, the Senate would refrain from taking any step that might prejudice its legal position regarding Akpoti-Uduaghan's suspension. Meanwhile, Adaramodu expressed the Senate's commitment to upholding the rule of law, stressing that it would act strictly by the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria upon full clarification of the court's pronouncement. From the judiciary now, where a Rivers State High Court sitting in Port Harcourt has awarded the sum of 15 million naira in favor of the Kokwama community in Port Harcourt City local government area against the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC and the Attorney General of the Federation AGF. The community had earlier filed a 100 billion naira fundamental rights enforcement suit against the EFCC over the alleged invasion and seizure of their waterfront. The incident reportedly occurred in 2023 during an EFCC operation targeting suspected illegal oil bunkering activities. In their suit, the residents of Kokama sought 100 billion naira in compensation for the alleged violation of their fundamental human rights. In politics, Peter Obi says he will contest for the office of the president in 2027, dismissing rumors that he will be running mate for Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party (PDP). The former Anambra State governor stressed that he remains a vibrant member of the Labour Party, though he is an active member of the African Democratic Congress (ADC) coalition adopted by the opposition to unseat President Bola Tinubu of the All Progressives Congress (APC), who is eyeing a second term of 4 years in office.
Nobody have ever discussed that. You know why I'm asking people assume so many things. Nobody have ever discussed with me whether I'm going to be A or B or C. Cheryl, I'm going to contest for the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I believe and qualify for it. People just assume anything in this country, and I don't believe in assumption. I don't live with it. I'm part of a coalition which will be able to produce a competent president with the capacity, compassion.
On labor matters, the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) has threatened to embark on nationwide protests over the rising insecurity, poverty, and high cost of living crisis in the country. This is as it warned that Nigerian workers would no longer sit idly by while the nation's economy and democracy crumbles. NLC, in a communique signed by its president Joe Ajaero and the general secretary Emmanuel Uboja, said that almost 700,000 lives lost in just a year to insecurity in Nigeria can only happen in a nation that's at war. It also warned that when farmers could not access their lands to farm, famine becomes a looming danger. The NLC urged the government to immediately declare a state of emergency on insecurity and other security agencies to deal decisively with the criminals, especially armed herders and bandits, without mercy. Now to Kenya, where security forces have blocked all major roads leading into central Nairobi ahead of planned nationwide protest. Reports say much of the city center is deserted with businesses shut and a heavy security presence on the streets. In a statement issued yesterday, the police said it was their constitutional duty to protect lives and property while maintaining public order. According to reports, the protest commemorates the 1990 struggle for multi-party democracy in Kenya. On the foreign scene, US President Donald Trump has warned that countries which side with the policies of the BRICS alliance that go against US interests will be hit with an extra 10% tariff. Trump has long criticized BRICS, an organization whose members include China, Russia, and India, which was designed to boost countries' international standing and challenge the US and Western Europe. Reports say a deadline for countries to agree a tariff deal with the US had been set for 9 July, but US officials now say they will begin on 1st August. Still on the foreign scene, Israel says it has launched strikes on 3 ports and a power plant through Houthi controlled areas of Yemen. Israel Defense Minister Israel Katz confirmed that their targets included the commercial ship Galaxy Leader. Israel said the ship hijacked by the rebel group in 2023 was used to monitor maritime vessels in international waters. Meanwhile, Iran-backed Houthi military group said following the attacks, the group's air defense confronted the Israeli attack by using a large number of domestically produced surface-to-air missiles. Still to come on the news. Duran joins Fenerbahce on loan from Al Nassr. Stay tuned for details of this and more. Welcome back. Glad to know that you're still with us. Now to the concluding part of our news stories. On our business news, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has clarified recent speculations regarding charges related to the newly launched non-resident bank verification number (NRBVN) platform, affirming that no hidden fees have been introduced and that the BVN enrollment for Nigerians residing within the country remains entirely free of charge. Making the clarification in Abuja, the bank's acting director of corporate communications, Hakama Ali, explained that the fee referenced in the report applied solely to the recently launched non-resident BVN NRBVN initiative, a service designed specifically for Nigerians living in the diaspora. According to her, the nominal charge of approximately $50 is not a fee for obtaining a BVN, but rather a recoverable processing cost for remote biometric and due diligence verification. The cost, she noted, covers secure identity authentication, data handling, and technology infrastructure required to support the overseas enrollment process. Still in business, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission (NUPRC) has generated a total sum of 28.11 billion naira in miscellaneous oil revenue tied to licensing fees and renewals within the first 5 months of 2025. The fund collected by the Commission between January and May 2025 was remitted fully to government coffers. This comes amidst the scramble by over 40 petroleum prospecting license holders to renew their exploration permits. The Commission described this category of income as revenue generated from granting approvals for various types of licenses and permits. In health, the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors (NAD) has rejected the recent circular issued by the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission, which announced a reviewed structure of allowance for medical and dental officers in the Federal Public Service. The group described their circular as not only chaotic and tone deaf, but also an affront to the professional dignity and sacrifice of doctors across the country. Reports say the circular has ignited backlash from leading medical associations, including the Nigerian Medical Association, the Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria, and NARD, all of whom accuse the Commission of operating in bad faith and undermining existing collective bargaining agreements. In a statement obtained by journalists and signed by NARD President Dr. Tokbe Oshundar and Secretary General Dr. Oluwashola Odumbakun, the association condemned the circular as a clumsy intervention that fails to capture the harsh realities confronting Nigerian doctors and the healthcare system at large. According to the association, the circular represents a gross misreading of the current state of the Nigerian healthcare sector and underscores the deep-rooted institutional disregard for the welfare of medical practitioners. Still in health, the Association of Nigerian Private Medical Practitioners (ANPM) has raised the alarm over an imminent healthcare collapse in the country, throwing its full weight behind the 21-day ultimatum issued to the federal government by the Nigerian Medical Association. In a statement jointly signed by the ANPMP President Dr. K. Adeshola and its Secretary General Dr. Gbadebo Adebi, the group expressed concern over what it described as the federal government's failure to honor long-standing agreements reached with doctors, particularly regarding remuneration and working conditions. The private practitioners called on President Bola Tinubu to urgently intervene in the ongoing dispute caused by a circular issued by the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission, which the NMA has roundly condemned. They warned that if the federal government failed to address the root causes of doctors' grievances, the fallout would be devastating, not only for the public sector, but for private healthcare operators who rely on the same shrinking workforce. Now to sports, where Super Falcons have begun their quest for a 10th Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON title on a perfect track after recording a dominant 3-0 win against Tunisia in their Group B opener. Goals from Azizat Oshoala, Rinshola Babajide, and substitutes Chiwendu Ihezuo secured the Super Falcons a first ever win against Tunisia in their second meeting with the North African country at the WAFCON. Recall that the first encounter between the Super Falcons and Tunisia at the WAFCON was in the group stage at the 2008 edition, which ended 0-0. Still in sports, Colombian striker Jean Duran has joined Fenerbahce on a year-long loan 6 months after moving from Aston Villa to Al Nassr in a £71 million deal. The 21-year-old scored 12 goals in 29 games for Villa last season, although only 7 of those were league starts. After joining Saudi Arabian side Al Nassr in January, Duran scored 12 goals in 18 appearances. Duran, who has 3 goals in 17 internationals for Colombia, joined Villa from Chicago Fire for £18 million in January 2023. He scored 20 goals in 78 games for the club, but 61 of those appearances came from the bench, with Duran unable to regularly displace England striker Ollie Watkins from the starting lineup. On our entertainment news, Afrobeat star Zinolensky has revealed that he did a lot of crazy things for music. He disclosed that he absconded from home at a young age to pursue a music career. In an interview, Zinolensky explained that his Nigerian parents are often in denial when their children choose a career in the entertainment industry, as they prefer professional courses. The Kilofeshe crooner also revealed that he started his music career as a rapper before switching to singing. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do ensure to follow us on all our social media handles and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtvlive.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 4. I am Ofonono Joseph. Do enjoy the rest of your day.